This video will show other types of court records in different counties that are probated records. The video will show you how to find these records in Family Search and how to search the records. It will give you examples of what information you might find in these types of records. Alright, in this video I want to show you what they call records of settlement in North Carolina in Rockingham. Just know that in all the different court records, they record things differently and they call them different. But I want to show you how this works. So here's a search. We're going to go to catalog and we're going to put in Rockingham, North Carolina. There it is right there. And do the online search and go down to probate. As you see, many of them are dealing with wills that they have online. So here's wills 1804 to 1864. These wills, record of wills. This has some wills in it of Caswell and Rockingham, which those two counties are right next to each other. And then they have this one, and I haven't looked through this one, Probate Records, Administration of Guardianship Records, but I wanted to show you records of settlement, 1817 to 1965. Just give you a glance at what you might find. You just have to go through the counties that you're looking at, see what they have, and kind of look at them. And I just picked this very first record. Sometimes they have an index at the beginning. This one does not, at least not in this early one. But what I wanted to show you in these first few pages, it says Anna Pratt. That one's pretty easy to read if you can read cursive. It tells you the state of North Carolina and Rockingham County, and most of them all start that way. Right here tells you the county and the state. And then we come down and we just read, we kind of look, and here's Pratt, and that's abbreviation for John, J-N-O, the estate of John Pratt, deceased. So this is who has died, and this is who is getting the money for his estate. Most likely that is his wife. So on these early records, sometimes this is where you're going to find the wife's name. Anyways, and if you go down, there's also a Samuel Pratt that's mentioned. He's paid for a mare that he considers his own property. And Anna Pratt she's got hogs that she considers her own property. These are just settling of accounts. Things have been brought to court and they're getting it settled. And how much money has been received and how it's been used. Anyways, so let's look at the next page. I just want to show you how many of the wives sometimes are listed in these. So let's look at this one. Okay, again, we're in Rockingham County. And this one does not have, this just says Sterling, and I'm not sure if that is R-U-P-L-I-N-R-U. Sometimes that look is a double S, Russin, R-U-S-S-I-N. I am not sure how that last name is spelled, but he is the administrator of John Mize, M-I-Z-E. My guess is that he is a son-in-law, and that John and his wife have passed away. Again, you'd have to look this up, but if these are names that you recognize, usually the administrator is somebody that's related. It could be a brother-in-law. Maybe he was never married. I don't know. Okay, let's look at this next one. This is, again, North Carolina, Rockingham, and it's William O. It looks like Short. So, a settlement with John Lowe or so of Nathaniel D. Murray, executor of the estate of William O. Short. So again, we don't find, we find this is the person who has passed away. And notice at the end of these is where you find a date. So we're looking at this time frame on these. 1817 is where we're looking at on these records. So if you're looking for William O. Short, you know that he died in Rockingham, or had property in Rockingham, that is the settlement of his estate is being done here in Rockingham about 1817. So he died about 1816, 1817. And people are named here. These are people who purchased something from his estate or owed him something. Okay, let's go to the next page. I'm only going to go through a few of these, and I'm going to go to another area. Okay, here is Mary Brant, administrator of Thomas C. Brant, deceased. So we have Thomas C. Brant, who has passed away. Mary Brant is most likely his wife. So you get a wife's name again. Okay, and then we have some more names here. And again, April of 1817. So he died before that. Here's Thomas Carter. Let's see what we have here. We have a settlement with Ruth Carter and Isaac Carter. Most likely Ruth is his wife and Isaac is a son. Let me quickly look here. I should have pulled this up beforehand, but I did look up some of these, and it seems like I might have looked that one up. I don't see it. So let me just pull up a new tab and show you what I do. When I've got somebody that the name looks familiar and I don't know if I'm related, but it might be a family name. So I go to Family Search and I do Find. We go back, and this was for Thomas Carter. So Thomas Carter, and I'm going to say death was in Rockingham, North Carolina. Okay, and then I'm going to put a time frame 1785, that was the beginning of that county, to 1720, and see if I can find anybody that... Okay, the other thing I can do is to put in a spouse, put in Ruth. I can't remember if I found him when I looked him up. I tried to look him up, but I may not have found him. Now look at that. There's a Thomas B. Carter. He died in December of 1817 in Rockingham, and his wife is Ruth. So let's go look at him. Let's open this up. Okay, and let's see. There is an Isaac Carter. So this is most likely that family. Of course, I'm not related. Well, I don't know that I'm related, but I'm just looking at these records. He has one source, and it's just a legacy. So let's go back here to the details. I'm going to copy his number, and I'm going to go back here to this record. And since we're there, and I'm sure that's who that is, now this says, let's see if it goes on to the next page. Amount brought over, so this is continuing that account. And oh, here we go. 28th of April 1817. It says he died in December. So he died before this date. So it wasn't December, it was probably December of 1816. I'm not going to change it because it's not my family, but I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to attach this. So we can just type in here settlement of estate of Thomas Carter. And we can put in April 1817. And then we select the person, and he'll probably come up, yep, because I had just looked at his account. And his wife Ruth is there, and then Isaac is also mentioned. I didn't look over here to see if there was any other Carters. I don't see anything really quick. Oh, let's see, that's Brent. Here's a David Carter. Did he have a David? There's a David Carter, so I'll mark him. William Carter. Does he have a William Carter? There's William right there. I'm sure this is the family. And there may be somebody on the next page, but I'm going to go ahead and attach that. Now, whoever is related to those people now has a good document showing about Thomas Carter's death and his wife being Ruth. Okay, let's go back. Oh, we're here on this record. Okay, that's what I wanted to show you at the beginning. Now I'm going to go to image 35. I skipped forward a few. And most of these that are in this area are guardianship. So we have a Cynthia and a G.W. Howard. So here we go, North Carolina, Rockingham. And it's a settlement with James Miller. I'm not sure what that is, but guardian for Cynthia Howard and George Washington Howard. Minors of Eli Thomas. So, let's do what we did for Thomas Carter. Let's put in Eli Howard. Okay, and we need to take the wife off. I've forgotten to do that sometimes, and that kind of messes it up. And let's see what we come up with. I'm pretty sure that I found him. I did. Okay. Do I have Rockingham? I do have that. Well, before he came up as my first one, you know, I'm just going to pull it over here because I did find it. I can't remember. I must have put something else in there. But here's Eli Howard. And it says he died in 1807. His wife is Elizabeth. And if we look down here, Cynthia Howard and George Washington Howard. They are young in 1817, still minors. So this is, I'm sure, his account. So let's do the same for him. Now, he probably is not going to show up. I'm not positive. Let's see. So we're going to attach this one, this page. We're going to say guardianship for minors of Eli Howard. 18, let's see if it's 1817. 1818. 1818. Next, okay, and we're going to go to this person. And I looked him up a little bit ago, so he shows up also. Let me go back here. If the person doesn't show up, well, there was a place to put a number in. Select the person. Let's start over. Attach the record. Okay, so guardianship of minors of Eli Howard, 1818. Select the person. Okay, now if he hadn't showed up, I can just put that number in and it pulls him up right there. So, okay, and then we're going to go ahead and attach the record. And I messed up. I should have added those two children. So what I have to do, we can try it again. Guardianship of Eli. Okay, it should have come up. I don't remember how I put minors. There it is. Okay, So we have that, and we select, and I'm going to go back to Eli Howard. And it shows that it's kind of blocked out a little bit. That means that's already attached. Okay, and here we go, Cynthia and George. So I can go ahead and attach those. Now sometimes, if you haven't looked the person up, you just put that number in, it won't allow you, it won't even come up with it. It won't allow you to look at it like we are this time. So what you have to do is you just have to refresh the page and try again, or you have to pull that person up and then refresh the page. I don't know if that makes sense, but you have to work with it a little bit. For some reason, it only lets you attach to them once, and then you can't get to them again. Or you find, like on that, I could have gone to Cynthia, found her identifier number, and pulled it up by her number because she hadn't been attached. Okay, let's move on. This is getting a little long. So here's another one, North Carolina, Rockingham, settlement with John Wardlow, guardian for Nancy. That looks like Settle or sets or settle, not sure. But it doesn't say on this one who her father is. But if you have a Nancy Settle that was married to somebody, because that appears to be her maiden name, that would be a record for her. It doesn't say who her father is, but he has died by this time, and in Rockingham. Okay, now we have another one with Robert Barr, guardian of Robert Walker, orphan child of Alexander Walker. I don't want to go through and find, you've seen how to attach them, how to look for them. I think I found him. Here's Clement Shreves, settlement with Thomas Lowe, guardian of Clement Shreves, minor of David Shreves. So what I want you to see is that you need to look at the different types of records, kind of figure out what they are, but a lot of these probate records that are not wills list children and wives, and it gives you an idea of when somebody passed away. Sometimes it's the wife that's passed away, the husband preceded her in death, and it's her estate, and she may have left minor children, or just her account needs to be settled. Like that first one was Anna Pratt. So her husband already passed away, and they were settling her account. Anyways, these early records it's hard to find things because the census is hard to read. You might get a man, but you're not going to get the wife and the children. And this is where you can find wives and children's names in these records. All right, on this video, I'm going to show you another record this is in Greene County, so I did search, catalog, and I went to Greene County, Kentucky, and then I went to the probates, and I looked under these administrative bonds, 1852 to 1892. And we come down here, and there's one record, so we're going to click on this. And again, you can see they have things indexed here. So let's look at some of those indexes. So it tells you here, now that one says Mary Barnett, but no, there's a number 7 over here. We have 1936. These are the pages that they're on. And I'm going to go over here. There should be one, yeah, Moses Etherton. This is one of my relatives. I see there's a Simon Etherton too. Anyways, page 12 and page 15. So I'm going to start a little earlier than that. I'm going to go to image 29. Oh, I guess not. I'm going to start on Moses. I thought I had somebody else before him. This happens to be one of my relatives. I'm related to the Ethertons and the Skaggs. And I looked up Moses. And let me find him. I should have pulled this up beforehand. Let me bring it over here. So here's Moses Etherton, and he died in October of 1852. And it says that I, Moses Etherton, have been appointed by the county of Greene County Administrator of Moses Etherton, who is deceased. So this is the father deceased, and this is the son. And if we look here, let me make this a little smaller. I'm using my laptop, so here is Moses Etherton Jr. So he is the one working on this record for his father, and it says John B. Skaggs, and I have not figured out who John B. Skaggs is. That's really my line, is the Skaggs line, and I haven't figured that one out yet. And it gives down here the 17th of January 1853. So that's about the right time. Now, Moses and John are giving sureties, so they've put up money. This is an intestate estate, meaning that there was no will, and so they are working with the courts to clear everything up here. All right, let's move on to image 31. So I did leave it up. Okay, let me bring this one over. I found James M. Judd. And let's go, and we see there's no children, but look at, he was like 19, no, he was 21 when he died. So let's look at this one. It says Elsie Judd, administrator of James N. Judd, deceased, intestate, so no will. And they give these names, Glasson, Benjamin Judd, and Elsie Judd. I think this is the right family, and it looks like he appears that it must be that he died. Here's Elsie, Elijah, just a short name for Elijah. But I couldn't find a Benjamin. I don't know where Benjamin Judd came in. I looked at his uncles, and I didn't see a Benjamin. So for somebody related to this family, that would be, this most likely is Benjamin Judd is related. So, and living there in Greene County. Now let me see if did he die? Yep, Greene County. Okay. Now let's go back here, and the next page. Here's Moses Etherton again. This time it said James Lewis is the administrator. So I don't know, here's what happened to, well, here's Elijah Etherton. So he's still putting money up. Something's changed. This is 1853, so this is a year after the other one. I don't know who James Lewis is, but this Ezekiel Davis, I wanted to show you this, that it's not always the siblings. So I looked through here. Obviously, I thought, well, maybe one of the daughters married a Davis, and I didn't see anything at first. I'll make this a little bit bigger. So here's Polly Etherton. I can't remember which one it was. It's not that one. Not that daughter. Oh, I think it's this one. Jane Etherton. So we look at this, and she is married to Ezekiel Davis. So there is the Ezekiel Davis. I looked at the other daughters that show other marriages, and I didn't find a Lewis. So again, there is a clue that there's somebody, these are usually related. They've put up money. It could be a good friend, a neighbor, or something, but anyways, these are not wills, but it does show that somebody has died, and it gives you basically a time frame because of when these administrative bonds are being set up. I don't know a whole lot about administrative bonds, but money is put up that everything will be cleared up. I guess if I read all of this, truly administrator of the goods shall tell his credits and effects of the said intestate according to the law, and will further make and just and true accounts. So they're just saying they're putting up money, there's court costs, that this estate will be settled, and that they'll bring it to court and show how it was done. Right, on this record, I went to search catalog, and then I typed in Chautauqua. I'm not sure if that's how you say it. New York. I have family from there, so I thought I'd try their probate records. So then I clicked on probate, and this is where I came up to. We have an index to records, so you can search the indexes. They have probate of wills, a lot of wills. And appointment of appraisers. I haven't looked at that one yet. But I looked at this probate of heirship. So let's go here. And they have an index. You can usually just tell from that because part of it's blank. Anyway, so it tells you the names of the people. So here's George Edward Ames, Stephen Adams, and the page you can find them on. Here's the B's. So I took some, this one's page 38, so I thought, well, I'll search for that. And it's Alva, I thought it was Burns, but I found out it's Burns, B-U-R-N-S. So, I don't think I wrote this down correctly. Oh, 38. I don't think that's image 38. I'm going to have to look. Oh, it is image 38. Okay. So I found this petition of George Burns of the town of Stockton in said county respectfully shown. So in this county. Alva Burns, late of the said town of Stockton, died on the 6th day of April 1861. So they actually give you the death date, and it says intestate, which means he didn't have a will. So I went and I typed in Alva Burns, and I put in this county. Actually, I had something different in there the first time, not sure what I had. Oh, well, 1861, because I guess I did, because I knew he died in 1861. And this came up, Alva Burns, 1880 to 1870. And when you look over here, it says 1860 to 1870. Okay, I went to him, and I'm going to just come over here. We see they don't have a death date for him. But let's look back here a little bit more. We'll put in that death date. And it says all of the tract in the town of Stockton. And it gives west by lands. Anyways, this is kind of the description. And I came down and you kind of glance through it, and I'm looking for names. And here it says, and leaving him surviving your petitioner George Burns and Lydia Burns. Lydia Laser, both of, this is probably, she is probably married to Laser, both of Stockton, Chautauqua, New York, both full of age, his own heirs, next of kin and something. Anyway, so let's look here. We have a George and a Lydia. Well, his wife is Mariah. Now it says she died in 1880. She should be an heir also, but she wasn't listed. But the children are Lydia and George Burns. And in 1861, he would only be, oh, this is dated 1881. So they're taking care of this property because 1881, their mother died in 1880, according to this record here. So they are the two that are left after she has died. So she received this property from her husband when he died in 1861. She dies in 1880, and now these two are left. And if we look up here in the sources, we have a 1850 census, 1855, 1860. So this record is not attached. and we have these two and their father. So I'm going to do his number just in case. Let's go over here, and we will attach this record. So heirship of Alva Burns, Chautauqua, I think that's New York. I might not have spelled that right. In 1881. Select person, and there he shows up. So we click on that, and Lydia and George Burns. And we say next. And attach that. Now, let's go and look. If this was your family, you found this. We're going to take George, and we're going to look at his tree. And we see George Burns. The son is married. We don't have more information on that. But here's Lydia Burns, and no spouse. I'm not going to type anything in there, but if this was your family, I would start looking for Lydia, L-A-S, that is an E right there. I know it doesn't look like it, but it is. It's kind of a capital E is how they wrote it. So her name is L-A-S-E-R, and I would search the 1880 census to see if you could find her there, and if she's not there, 1900. But she's probably married by 1880. And so that gives you her married name. So I'm not going to show you more on this, but I just really want people to feel comfortable to look at the other probate records, because there's wonderful things that can be found in these records, and make sure you attach them to the person when you find them, especially when they have these indexes at the beginning of the records. Always check for that, because it certainly makes it easier to find. Now remember that some of these, it may be a son-in-law who is the executor of the will, and he's not going to be listed in there, and so you might be looking for the son-in-law, and you're not going to find him under the father's death. It's the person who passed away who the index is for. So George and Lydia are not going to show up in that index, just their father, Alva. Anyways, I hope this is helpful to go through this and how to look through these different records. You don't have to read everything. I did not read all of this here. This is all the... I mean, if this was my family, I might be interested to know exactly where this land is and try and figure that out. But you're looking for names. And up here, since you know you're looking for Alva Burns, oh, we didn't change the date, did we? Let's go in and do that before I forget. Anyways, before I leave this page, you just kind of glance through here. You're looking, and you can see that this is a description. And then as you come down here, I see this George Burns. That's what caught my eye, this Burns right here. And Lydia Burns. And I think that says now Lydia Laser. I couldn't figure it out before. I'm pretty sure that says now. They both live there in that same county. So let's go back over here. It was the 6th of April, 1861. And we're going to help somebody out here. Let's go back to his page. And let's put in his death date. So somebody who had looked at this knew that he died between the 1860 census and 1870 census. 1861. Whoops. 1861. There we go. We've got it right. And let's standardize that. And there we go. So now we have given him a death date and a source. So I hope, like I said, I hope this helps people to be willing to search and look. Happy hunting!